17 minutes away from 8 this morning.
You're listening to the Radio Wammo Breakfast, only on Kiwi.
Well, the New Zealand Atheist Bus Campaign plans to put ads carrying an atheist and humanist message on buses in major New Zealand cities, encouraging Kiwis to think critically about their beliefs. This follows the success of the original UK campaign and other campaigns around the world. A positive message of atheism and humanism will soon be travelling around New Zealand on buses. That's if they get enough money, and by the sounds of it, over the last few days, they're well on their way. Joining me from nogod.org.nz this morning is Simon Fisher to tell us all about this. Good morning to you, Simon.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I would say God bless or something like that, but that would probably be inappropriate.
That'd be fine. We can still use the language. It's part of our culture.
Well, that indeed it is. Now, I'd also imagine that there are going to be a fair number of people who would be quite offended by this campaign that you are planning. Have you had any feedback over the last few days?
We've had a lot of feedback, and it's roughly seemed to follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of it has been very positive, very supportive. Lots of people who have sort of felt that we're doing the right thing, and that they've, for example, one young guy, he basically said that we've reduced the anxiety and fear for him in having this position that there is no God, and that's really great because it really enforces the need for the campaign in New Zealand society.
Are you anti-God?
We're not anti-God because, well, it's hard to be anti something that you don't feel there is sufficient evidence for. So there's no real negative hate feelings for God. It's more just that we don't feel that there is sufficient evidence to have a belief in this God to let it run our day-to-day lives or make decisions for us or worship or anything like that.
But by running a campaign like this, though, don't you come across as perhaps a little bit extremist? A bit like, like you've got the radicals on the religion side, and then you're the extreme on the other, where you actually want to put out this message that you think that there's no God. Whereas there are people who sit in the middle and just go about their daily lives and don't worry about any of it.
I don't think so much. More than 1.5 million New Zealanders are not convinced by the claims of religion. And that's shown in the statistics. And, we're just trying to put the positive message out there that you can be good without God and that it's okay not to believe. And, yeah.
The campaign has its history in the UK. Can you tell us about what happened over there?
Well, it started off in response to an ad that was placed on buses by Christian groups, which essentially, once you went to the website of the ad, it basically said, if you don't believe, you're going to hell. And, of course, that's not a message that we feel is beneficial for society as a whole, and certainly not beneficial to individuals and children. So Arian Shireen, a writer for The Guardian over there, had the idea of starting an ad to provide an alternative voice for atheists and rationalists, etc. And so they launched the campaign, and it was a huge success, similar like it's been here. And they raised, I think in total, though, they raised over 150,000 UK pounds.
Yeah.
Eventually, and from there it spread around the world, and it's Canada, the United States, Italy, Germany, I think Korea, Australia has run similar campaigns, and now we're doing a similar thing in New Zealand.
And the reaction in those parts of the world, has it ever turned violent or anything like that?
No, I don't believe so, especially not in relation to the atheist bus campaign.
Because we know what happened during the Crusades.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was a fair few years ago.
It certainly was. Okay, so what about the reaction here? Over the last few days, you say that you've had you've obviously the feedback. What about the money? Has that started coming on in?
Yes, we made over 15,000 within the first 48 hours, which is quite incredible given our small size. And I haven't actually checked it this morning, but we were up around 17,000 yesterday.
Is this your day job? Are you a full-time atheist?
No. Well, I am a full-time atheist, I guess, but it's certainly not my day job. There's a group of us that came together with the support of the Humanist Society of New Zealand and the other atheistic-type groups in New Zealand, such as the Association of Rationalists and atheists based in Auckland, and we just decided that this would be a beneficial thing for New Zealand society, and we got together.
Do you feel marginalised as an atheist?
I'm not sure if that's quite the right word. I think that the more than 1.5 million New Zealanders that don't believe and are not convinced by the claims of the religious in New Zealand are possibly underrepresented.
But most of those people would probably be agnostic, wouldn't they? Where they think that there might be some kind of God, but they're not quite sure about it, and they'd like to just sit on the fence. Thank you very much at the moment.
Certainly, and we're sort of reaching out to those people as well. There's lots of people who feel anxiety or perhaps even fear about this sort of middle ground of, should I believe, and possibly even which religion should I follow. So we're putting the message out there that it's okay not to believe, and you can be good without God.
The wording for the campaign that you're going to be putting on the sides of buses says there's probably no God. So
sure.
you almost are sitting on the fence a little bit there with the word probably.
Well, again, we feel it's just as much of a faith position to say that that there certainly is no God as it is to say that there certainly is a God. So just like you can't disprove unicorns or the Tooth Fairy or Thor or Zeus, etc., there's no sort of positive reason to say that these ones exist. For example, people don't bother saying that they're agnostic about unicorns.
Yeah.
They just say that unicorns don't exist.
Right.
So this atheist bus campaign uses the word probably because you can't prove or disprove unicorns, fairies, or gods. But you can say there's not a shred of evidence for the thousands of gods that people have ever worshipped.
Can I ask you, Simon, if you did have to choose a god, who would you go with?
Who would I go with? I would have to say none of them. There's just not enough evidence to make me think that.
But is there one that you think that might be cooler than the rest?
I really like Zeus. I mean, he is Thunderbolts, and that's pretty awesome.
I got you to commit on something there, Simon.
Thunderbolts do it for me all the time.
Thunderbolts are good.
Yeah.
When can we see these ads on the sides of buses? And also, have you had any reaction from the bus companies?
We have confirmed, initially at least, that the ads are fine for the bus company. They are happy with the message, but they reserve the right to double-check it, of course, before it actually goes on the buses. And so that part of the campaign should be fine. And in terms of when, we haven't quite confirmed at the moment. We have some interesting developments that we're trying to work through in the background.
Oh, yes?
But
can you tell us what they are, Simon?
I probably shouldn't say quite at the moment,
go on.
but it's sometime early next year.
Okay.
But yeah, people that are interested can check the website at www.knowgod.org.nz, and we'll announce it then.
Well, Simon, best of luck for the rest of the campaign. Thanks very much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Simon Fisher, the chap behind knowgod.org.nz. It's now 8:00.